Mr. Mark Ruffalo, why are you talking about the ICE, that one single woman that died, that came in front of ICE? I don't understand where you guys want to take this with Gaza and Hamas and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Neither of you have lived under the Islamic Republic tyranny that you guys are talking about the death of one single woman that have came in front of an ICE agent, a police. And you guys are talking about, you guys have human rights. You guys have everything that you need in your life. We have been taken, our lives have been taken away from us. You guys have everything, and you guys once have one president in your country that wants the best for the people of America that have built the land for 250 years. America has a right to have a country. America has a right to have a country as much as Iranians have a right to have a country. So let's get the facts right here. All right? Let's not get ourselves lost in this illusion that you guys have been building for us, for people.
I'm being bombarded by different emotions. And this is the moment that Iranians, my people, are experiencing different feelings, pain, and at the same time, hope, concern, and at the same time, hope. And I repeat that because that can be the beginning of a future that people of Iran have been waiting for this moment for 47 years. You know, let's just make it very clear. Now, when I talk to Iranians, for 1 second, they scream out of joy when they hear that their killers finally being the target of the US government and they see justice. But at the same time, they are worried. They're concerned that if this is not going to lead regime change, that if this is not going to be the end of this regime, and if the American government, the Israeli government, only target the military leader, not the political leaders, then the people of Iran are going to be left alone on themselves by a wounded ISIS, by a wounded regime and government, and that's going to be a huge risk for my people inside Iran. I have family there, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, all my beloved people, they live there. But believe me, we don't want people like Zoran Mamdani or some of Americans lecture us about peace, about war, because this is a war being brought to us Iranian people by the Islamic Republic, by the warmonger Revolutionary Guards. And this is the moment that Europeans should join the US government, should join the Israeli government to end the Islamic Republic. If not, believe me, this regime will end democracy, will end American citizens' life everywhere, because the Islamic Republic is like cancer, and they will infect the rest of the world if we don't remove them.
Wow. Powerful. Nicole, I mean, we've been hearing this all day. This is not just conservatives. This is not just Americans. She is an Iranian American and still has family in Iran. What are your thoughts?
You know, she said a couple of things that I think were really strong and powerful, but she said something that gave me a little pause. And just from judging from her body language, this is what happens when people are oppressed for a very long period of time. They don't know their own power, right? So what she's waiting for is the United States or another country. She wants, you know, Europe to join and come together like an allied force and kind of make this better for them. That's not what we do. And hear me very clearly, as a conservative person, I am 100% against nation building. One, we don't do it well. Hell, we're still building this one. We don't have the skill set to be building other folks' nation. Number two, your freedom comes at your cost, not our cost. The whole reason this escalated wasn't because of things that happened in the 1950s or the 1970s. It escalated because 2 weeks ago, when Donald Trump told them, you may not, under any circumstances, seek to enrich any kind of nuclear material for a bomb, because they already have ballistic missiles. We've been seeing them shoot ballistic missiles, you know, all night and all day. If you're going to have any nuclear capability, we will handle you. Make no mistake. And he thought that he was talking to Joe Biden or Barack Obama. He was waiting for pallets of money. So much so that they decided to have a whole damn team meeting about it. How dumb can you be? You put all your leaders in one little area. How dumb can you be? Well, you know, they went back to meet their maker. But I'm going to say this. These Iranian people need to find their feet. They need to find their strength and pick their new government. Because if they wait, if they act afraid, they will get another theocracy. Absolutely. There will be another Ayatollah. It'll be someone else who comes in with stronger rules, and it'll be even worse than it was before. They have to find their feet. And America can't do that for you. We can help you get freedom, but you're going to have to fight for it on your own. That's not our job.
Absolutely. Yeah, and President Trump came out and he was pretty clear. He said this is different than Operation Midnight Hammer that occurred last year, which was pretty much a one and done. He acknowledged that this is going to be a little longer. Now, I don't think it's going to be months, but it's going to be a little longer. And he also said there may be U.S. losses. In his statement, he told Americans, my administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. So, I mean, it's not going to be like Iraq and Afghanistan because we're not sending in troops on the ground. But he said, when we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. And that's a quote from President Trump. So he's pretty much saying what you said, Nicole.
Yeah, I mean, that's a strongly held conservative belief, and it's not new. You know, we have war fighters to protect our homeland. Will we help and liberate people around the world? Of course, especially when it's in our own interest. You know, we have the military bases in Bahrain, and those missiles that they have can easily attack those military bases and installations that we have that we need to protect, because again, we still have the Houthis to deal with. We've got all kind of little terrorist groups over there that we need to make sure stay tamped down. But with that said, one thing that we're not going to do is be bullied on this planet. There's no way, no how, and we're not going to try to buy friends a la Barack Obama. We're not giving you money to leave us alone. We're not going to do that. And this is what this president has said. And I see the people in the UN, especially the third worlders, saying, oh, this is a horrible thing. First Venezuela, now Iran. Let me tell you something. If you're a tin can dictator, you are on notice. You are absolutely on notice. This administration's not playing games. You need to get it together. Stop killing your people over foolishness and stop sending poison into other people's nations. Get busy building your nation. Not only America be great again, but Venezuela be great. Mexico get great. Scheinbaum was on the microphone earlier this week talking about, well, the cartels really aren't that bad. It makes up a significant portion of her economy. So I understand why she said it, but that's the wrong thing to say when you share a border with the United States and Donald Trump is president. You know, she too may wake up in heaven fooling around with him.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. Now, looks like this situation is a very different than in the past. One of the reasons why is because apparently Iran has been aggressive and striking the other Arab nations around it. So it's the factor of instability in the Middle East for decades has really been Iran and its proxies like Hezbollah and Hamas. But right now, many of these Arab neighbors are aligned with us and in Israel. Is that correct? Or have you all read the same thing?
That's what Iran has been doing that, and to their detriment, because right now, so far, it appears again that these other nations, particularly Saudi Arabia, you have Oman, the UAE, Qatar, of course, some other smaller island nations, but Bahrain, Kuwait, they are Saudi Arabia certainly is I guess I'm going to say not taking offense. I'll say on offense for that. So they're really not making any allies. Okay. Saudi Arabia wants peace. Okay. Saudi Arabia wants, I'll say, stability. Okay. They want stability. If Saudi Arabia is going to help have the leverage, if you will, in maintaining the stability in that area, that will be a plus for the world. a plus for the world, particularly if the Ayatollahs are not in command anymore. The Iranian people, you're right. President Trump urged them to take your government. This is the opportunity. We're giving you the opportunity, that window, if you will, that vacuum. You need to fill it to govern your country. You need to put the right people there, of course, because there are other sectors that may come in, that could come in, and it really will be, pretty much all for naught. So again, the people need to rise up. Another thing about this is this. The European Union, they seem to be, a little weak as well. They're walking here, on one side. They're not sure where they want to be. I guess they're waiting for the outcome. But you better make a decision, because guess what? Iran has missiles that can reach the European continent as well. Okay, stop this take control, stand up, if you will. Again, do what you're supposed to do. And I mentioned Obama earlier. Somebody's upset in the chat. I don't really care about that. That was the truth. He did give them $1 billion or something on pallets. But let me also say this. Since Obama, we've had Obama, we had Osama bin Laden, Trump killed Soleimani, Biden had al-Waziri, I can never pronounce these names, whatever, and back again to Trump with Ayatollah Khomeini. So every one of those presidents has taken down a notable leader of terrorism, a figurehead, if you will, an actual terrorist. Those are good things. Those are good visuals for the world to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.